Let's go back now to that extreme reaction to a wasp sting. Emergency doctors Paul Rees and Chris Hill are fighting to save the life of Kevin Bushnell.
Kevin is dangerously ill with anaphylaxis. He's been given adrenaline, but his system is so weak it's taking time to take effect. Dr. Chris Hill is putting him on a drip while Paul watches his blood pressure.
It's going to be a sharp scratch coming in the back of your hand, all right? I'm going to pop a little drip in the back of your hand.
I'm going to recheck that blood pressure. Okay.
Sharp little scratch coming.
His blood pressure is still so low they're going to administer adrenaline intravenously.
Kevin was critically ill as a result of his anaphylactic shock. His blood pressure was dangerously low and his circulation wasn't really supporting his key organ system, so his brain wasn't being perfused enough with blood and he was becoming confused and a little bit agitated.
Paul realises this is a job for the air ambulance. He puts in a call to control.
Caroline, hi. Yeah, this job in Alresford, the bee sting, is having anaphylaxis, hypotensive, quite unwell. Just want to get an update on, well, Helimed? That's possible, isn't it? There's a sports field directly at the back of this house, which is a potential landing site. It's quite a remote job, isn't it?
In the meantime, Kevin's cries seem to be more agonising.
Bring your arm down for me a second.
That's probably the medication, all right? Just causing it... It won't blow up, promise you.
In fact, he's reacting to the drugs which are helping him.
Kevin did get some unusual symptoms after he'd administered a small dose of adrenaline. In some patients, that's because the blood pressure responds very rapidly. And it also causes a tachycardia, a very fast heart rate. And patients are aware of that as well. So it's common to get a cluster of symptoms after giving adrenaline to a patient.
Paul does his best to reassure Kevin that this is what's happening.
How's the pain in your face going now? OK, all right, fine. This will all resolve, this will go away, OK? You've had the injection for it, all right?
Just need something to secure this.
Yeah, sure, I've got you one here. He's quite sweaty there, isn't he?
He's very sweaty. Might be that and a bandage.
And a bandage, yeah, I've got a bandage in there for you. So. Just need you to try and stay still. The medication we've given you, the adrenaline, little squirt of adrenaline, will make you feel rough, OK? But it treats the allergic reaction that you're having, all right? So just take nice big deep breaths of the oxygen.
The drip is helping the drug take effect. His circulation is improving and it is going to get better.
You make a full recovery from this, OK? You'll be absolutely fine. I just need to give you some medication to get you stable, all right? So let's just turn that...
And there's news from ambulance control. The air ambulance is near.
Hello? 8 minutes, OK, that's fine. All right, cheers. Just thinking of destination hospitals that we can actually land at from here. I think QA. Just because it's got a rooftop helipad, QA. All right. OK, thanks. Cheers. Bye. Bye-bye.
It'll take just 7 minutes to airlift Kevin to Queen Alexandra Hospital in Portsmouth.
It'll be fine, but we just need to sort of get him there and get him fixed. Right, I just wanted to steal some... OK, that's probably the adrenaline, isn't it, really? 0.5, yeah. But he was clearly hypotensive, wasn't he? So, you know.
In the meantime, the treatment continues. Paul is going to give Kevin some more drugs to subdue the allergic reaction.
So we're going to give you some steroid medication now. You've had some antihistamines and some adrenaline, OK? Just give you a little bit of medication to quell down that allergic reaction that you've had, all right?
Will you be able to sort this out? Will you be OK?
Yeah, be fine. You'll need to carry something to make sure that if this ever happens again, you can give himself a squirt of adrenaline and then that's it. Yeah.
It turns out this isn't the first time Kevin has been stung recently.
He got stung, not slung back, but he did come out and hide. It wasn't too bad, but this literally happened like that.
Yeah.
Kevin is still struggling with his reaction to the adrenaline.
Going to give you a big steroid injection again, which will help quell down this allergic reaction. Is that sore on your arm?
Oh, my head.
OK. Let's just get a big... and 0.5 adrenaline. I think that's a reasonable call for where we were, isn't it? I think you'd have been struggling without us being here. The fact that we were in the area and able to get to him and administer these emergency medications and get him off to hospital undoubtedly changed the outcome here. If he'd have been left for a period of time without treatment, then he'd have got very much worse and that may have been irrecoverable. All right. Let's have a look at you under there. Open your eyes for me. That's it. All right. Good.
Kevin has been showing signs of improvement, thanks to the speed and skill of Paul and Chris.
I just want to feel the leg here, all right, sorry.
Feeling any better?
Be honest.
But his condition is not stable yet.
Feeling itchy again?
This is a sign that his body is still reacting, so Paul prepares some more adrenaline.
So what did you do, uncover a nest, or just bad luck?
We were going to get something out of the freezer and he pulled the thing out and it just flew straight at him. He couldn't get it off and it just kept repeatedly stinging him.
Just going to do this blood pressure.
Yeah, good man.
Just try and straighten your arm for me, this arm if you can. Just, that's it, let it nice and relax. I know it's a bit uncomfortable.
At last, Kevin's blood pressure is going up. This is the sign the doctors were waiting for. It shows the drugs are taking effect.
114 over 72. OK, that's all right. That's good. So we'll give him the rest of that fluid.
It's still low, but much better than before.
How you doing? Blood pressure's OK now. All right, you're doing well.
The air ambulance is arriving. It won't be long before Kevin is safely in the hospital.
How you doing now? Feeling a bit more human?
Paul confers with air paramedic Fraser Rowbotham.
Provided his numbers, we'll recheck his numbers in the back of the aircraft. Provided he's all right and there's any airway problems, then you just take him, yeah? Because he's responded, you know, he's going to get better now. He's had all the stuff, so yeah. You're filling up nicely, aren't you? How do you feel? Do you feel a bit more like a human being now?
I do.
Yeah, you look more like one.
Now Kevin is conscious and stable. Paul can explain to his patient exactly what's been happening.
Anaphylactic shock. OK, nasty. But fixed now.
Thanks to the emergency intervention by two highly experienced trauma doctors, Kevin is out of danger. He's on his way to hospital, where he'll be monitored in case of a relapse.
I would estimate that now he'll make a good recovery, but certainly life-threatening when we got here. They've given him the life-saving treatments for it, and now he's stable enough to be transferred direct to hospital.
Not a bad morning's work for Chris and Paul.
Well, Kevin is here with his wife, Karen. I can hardly recognise you. Your face was so swollen, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
What seems shocking is it went wrong so quickly. So explain to us what happened. You were out in the garden and you got stung 3 times.
Yeah, I went to the shed to get something out of the freezer, and I moved something, and I felt like a spider under my eye. So I went to get it off, and then I had 3 stings, one after the other, and it was a baby wasp, just flew out the shed.
OK, and then when did it start going really seriously wrong?
I went indoors and said to Karen and the kids that I've been stung, and my head started itching. I come up in these lumps, and Karen luckily called for an ambulance.
Because sometimes you think somebody's been stung by a wasp, you think, oh, that's going to be fine. When did you realise this was not at all fine?
When he started sweating, and my stepdaughter, he said, can you scratch my back? And she was scratching his back, and I lifted up his shirt, and I said, no, there's something really wrong.
Because there were hives, what, all over his body?
He's covered from head to foot.
And it wasn't just the hives, because then it started, you say you could hear your pulse in your ears.
I could hear my pulse in my ears beating away quite loudly, and then it slowed right down, and then I heard the last one, and at that point I said I'm going, and luckily a paramedic behind me picked me up and said, you're not going anywhere.
He did, didn't he? He was very confident that you were going to be OK.
Yeah.
He said that to you. Did you believe him at the time?
No.
You thought this
I was
was
reassured he was there, but yeah. By that time, everything was going away from me. It was, just in the distance.
Gosh, and this was all very quick. If you hadn't called that quickly, do you think you wouldn't have him here?
I don't think so, but because the critical care doctor came first, I realised that, you know, time was of the essence, and they were just fantastic. They bladed in the door and sorted him out.
I know you haven't seen that film before. Do you remember much of that was going on or not?
Little bits, but the bits where I was on the settee, I remember itching and itching and itching, and I felt my head something was going to explode. It's just everything was, but apart from that, no. Little bits going to the helicopter.
OK, how are you now? You all right?
Absolutely fine, yeah.
Are you scared of wasps, or how is it?
No, not at all. The children and my wife are. They panic. But no, you know, I shoo them off also.
And you were quite worried for a few months afterwards, weren't you?
It made me quite nervous, but now I've got used to it. And just know that he's got to take his pen and his phone wherever he goes. Yeah, so you've got your EpiPen on you now. You have it all the time, do you?
Yes, I do, yeah.
And so what do you have to do? You have to call 999.
Yeah, I've got to jab myself, leave it in for 10 seconds for the adrenaline to get into my system, take some Piriton or something if I can, and call for an ambulance straight away.
And you're raising money for them, aren't you?
I'm hoping to do a sponsored parachute jump for the air ambulance and also the BASICS. Just appreciation, because it's not funded, so...
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming to tell us your story. I'm glad you're OK.